The moment her acrylic nails sliced into my neck, I knew this wasn't just a neighborly dispute anymore. This was war. I was in a wheelchair, unarmed and bleeding, but what she didn't know was that I had everything I needed to destroy her life, legally. If you've ever been underestimated, if someone's ever treated you like you were powerless just because of a disability, your size, or your silence, this story is going to hit deep. Hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with me, because this is the most satisfying revenge you'll hear today. Let me take you back a few months. I have a rare but debilitating condition called severe POTS, which causes me to faint unexpectedly. As a result, I rely on a wheelchair to safely get around. Even with a chair, life isn't easy. Every day requires effort, planning, and a little bit of courage. But it's home that should be safe. Home that should be accessible. And yet, every single day I would come home from work to find a beat-up car parked illegally. Not just in a fire lane, but on the sidewalk, blocking the only way into my apartment. The sidewalk I have to use to get in with my chair. And it wasn't just random, it was my neighbor. A woman who, for reasons I still don't understand, acted like the rules didn't apply to her. First I let it go. Found other ways in. I left my chair in the car and limped the rest of the way inside, praying I wouldn't faint mid-step. I thought, maybe she'll move it tomorrow. But tomorrow came. Then the next day. Then the next. Eventually I brought it up to my landlord. I didn't expect much, but to my surprise he told me, start taking pictures. Email them to me. Every time she does it. So I did. Every time I got home and saw that rusted heap blocking the sidewalk, I took out my phone. Email. Until one day, everything exploded. It was a Tuesday. I remember because I was already exhausted from work. I'd had a fainting episode earlier that morning and barely made it through my shift. I just wanted to get home, get into my chair and lie down. But there it was again, her car. Parked half on the sidewalk, half in the fire lane like it owned the place. So I did what I always did. Opened the camera app on my phone and started taking pictures. That's when I heard the door slam. She came stomping out of her apartment, eyes blazing, screaming before she even reached me. What the hell do you think you're doing? Her voice was shrill, venomous. She didn't stop walking. She didn't stop yelling. I calmly said, I'm just taking a picture for the landlord. You're parked illegally again. Her face twisted, rage personified. You think you can get me in trouble, wheelchair boy? I tried to walk away, hoping to just end the confrontation. But she stepped into my path. Nose to nose. I could feel her breath, hot and sharp, hitting my face. My heart was racing. Not from fear. From instinct. When she raised her hand, I panicked. I reflexively shoved her back just to get her out of my space. That's when she snapped. She lunged at me, grabbed my throat with one hand, and started punching me in the face with the other, over and over. Her acrylic nails scratched deep into my neck. Blood started pouring out. I stumbled backward, barely able to stay upright. Could hear shouting. My vision started to blur. Thank God for my neighbors. Two of them were out having a smoke and came running. One grabbed her off me while the other called 911. Police showed up. So did the paramedics. I was shaking uncontrollably, blood down my shirt, neck stinging, head pounding. And then it happened, I fainted. Right there in front of the EMTs. That was it for me. I wasn't going to let her get away with this. Not this time. Not this level of violence. Not after everything she'd already put me through. So I decided to press charges. I thought maybe I could get her for aggravated assault. Maybe even a restraining order. But then, I remembered something. She had a gun. I'd seen it mounted on her wall before when her door was open. And here's the kicker. She's a convicted felon. That means she's not even allowed to own a firearm. So I made sure the police went to her apartment while she was still home. And when they got there, everything unraveled. Here's what they found. The car. Stolen. No insurance. No license. The gun. Also stolen. Used needles all over the apartment. An 8-year-old child living in those conditions. And yes, the gun mounted on the wall, fully loaded. Oh, and the cherry on top. Her own child had filmed the assault, because the woman had told her to. She was arrested on the spot. No bond. Child Protective Services removed her daughter that same night and placed her in foster care. According to the DA, the little girl had filmed the entire attack. Full audio, full video. The footage made it an open and shut case. Even if she hadn't had a record. Even if there weren't 7 prior assault charges in the last 5 years. Even if she hadn't attacked someone with a disability. The combination of the stolen vehicle, stolen weapon, illegal firearm possession, child endangerment, physical assault, and intentional filming of that assault in front of a child. It was game over. When I heard from the DA that she was facing over 30 years in prison, my first reaction wasn't even joy. It was relief. For the first time in months, I felt safe. This wasn't just about parking violations anymore. It was about power, about violence, about a woman who thought she could terrorize everyone around her and face no consequences. But she picked the wrong person to mess with. She saw a wheelchair and thought I was weak. But I had something much stronger than fists or fury. I had the law, and I used it. You never know who you're really dealing with, and sometimes the people who seem powerless are just holding back. This wasn't just justice for me. This was protection for that little girl, for my neighbors, for anyone else she might have hurt next. Because some people don't change until they're forced to. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or pulled off yourself? Don't forget to subscribe for more real stories of revenge, justice, and karma served cold. Because sometimes, what goes around doesn't just come back. Hits hard.